Yeah, when Tim Forbes showed up, they knew. No. We didn't, we were a small business. There's only 30 or so 35 employees when we sold, so it's not like you can keep secrets in there like that. I think people know what's up when you keep on having these guys in suits coming into the boardroom when everybody's wearing flip-flops and shorts. Like managing that process was difficult, but we, I can't remember the exact wording we used, but I think we tried to stay away from the corporate jargon and trying to be open without giving up too many details, right? But they know, and so keeping the boat floating while that process was another one of the balancing act, right? You don't want to kill your business while you're trying to sell it, right? When you're working 30 hours a week on the deal, when you're going to work on the actual company, right? And so that communication is certainly was tough.
A very, very similar story. It's like when we're locked in a boardroom every night till 2 a.m. or 3 a.m., not showing up and then showing up first in the morning again, bleary-eyed, doing it all over again for months. Something's up. So folks had a sense of it, and I think for us, because we had so many employees, we had a very structured way we communicated with them, and I wouldn't call Bioware a traditional open book where you showed absolutely everything, but we were very, very open in terms of how we shared information. So we had multiple layers of management. The highest level management knew earliest as the discussions began, and as things progressed, it kind of progressed downward through the management team until finally, in a room 5 times this size, we announced it to the team, and so a lot of the people knew, and all the managers who would be there to help support people if they had questions were already very well informed. So that's actually part of it too. Is because our objective was to continue growing and have the employees comfortable with the decisions that were being made. The second time it was even crazier than that. Like we had a studio in Austin at the time, so we had announced in Austin first thing in the morning. Flew from Austin to Edmonton by midday. Re-announced it in Edmonton. Face to face with everyone. And really just being there and saying, hey, we think this is the right decision. Here's why. Being very upfront, being very honest, and a bit of a trust us story. But I think up to that point and beyond, I think folks did trust our decisions and those things. So, there's a lot of surprise. I mean, certainly, people were a bit surprised, but at the same time, I think with enough infrastructure around that knew why and the rationale behind it, it went actually really, really smoothly.
I had like 5,000 employees. No. I had one person that was working on the website with me part time. He under
your arms.
Yeah, he actually lives in Memphis, and he worked as an IT guy. I think I told him about a week before, and it ended up being really good for him because he got hired on with TV Guide full time. So he quit his job, so he had a reduction and stuff. He didn't have to go to his horrible job that he hated, and would have gotten laid off, turns out, like 3 weeks later, I think. So yeah, and so I called him and I said, hey Dave, I'm selling the website. Silence. I said, to TV Guide. And he goes, okay. I said, and they're going to hire you on full time. Okay. Hold on a second. He's calling to his wife. So it was great. And he's still with the website. We're both half-time on it now, still continuing. So, yeah, slightly different story.